a motion to hold without bond both defendants in the shootings of two Columbus police officers. 48-year-old Officer John Gillis and 44-year-old Officer Anthony Garrison were shot last night during the drug raid on East Ridge Street. The Columbus Division of Police has charged former Ohio State football player Derek Foster and 19-year-old Michael Gravely, each with 2 counts of felonious assault and 2 counts of attempted murder. Police spokeswoman Amanda Ford says both officers are in stable condition after each had surgery today. Ford says other officers in the division are coming to grips with the shootings of their colleagues.
Obviously, they take it very hard when one of their officers are injured. You know, they're one big family, so they take it really hard. They're very caring, and they're just being very supportive to the families right now.
Officers Gillis and Garrison were in the same recruit class in 1987. They've both been in the narcotics unit since 1995. Ohio State University has paid former men's basketball coach Jim O'Brien $2.74 million for improperly firing him for violating NCAA rules. The dollar amount represents the award plus interest since O'Brien won a lawsuit against the university in August of 2006. A new public opinion poll on the presidential race in Ohio shows, for the moment at least, Democrat Hillary Clinton running much stronger than fellow Democrat Barack Obama, when each is matched head-to-head against Republican John McCain. State House correspondent Bill Cohen reports.
The Quinnipiac University poll finds Clinton leading McCain by a margin of 48 to 38%, while Obama and McCain are in a virtual dead heat here. Pollsters find that Clinton is running much stronger among white working-class voters than Obama does. And that's a big reason she appears stronger than Obama against McCain, not only in Ohio, but also in Florida and Pennsylvania. Head pollster Peter Brown says the findings could have big ramifications as Democratic Party movers and shakers try to help resolve which of their big stars gets the nomination. Quote, if the superdelegates are looking at electability, these results could be a shot in the arm for Senator Clinton. No one has won the White House since 1960 without carrying 2 of these 3 swing states. Bill Cohen, the Ohio Public Radio State House News Bureau.
In sports, Seattle is at Cleveland tonight. The Reds have the day off. And showers and thunderstorms possible in Columbus tomorrow, a high temperature of 76 degrees. This is WWSU.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Robert Siegel. A charity with ties to Hillary Clinton has gotten in trouble for what appear to be illegal robocalls in North Carolina. That state's presidential primary is this Tuesday. The group, Women's Voices Women Vote, says its goal is simply to register single women to vote. Here's Peter Overby explains.
Last week, this automated robocall went out in North Carolina.
Hello, this is Lamont Williams. In the next few days, you will receive a voter registration package in the mail. All you need to do is fill it out, sign it, date, and return your application. Then you will be able to vote and make your voice heard. Please return your registration form when it arrives. Thank you.
But the deadline to register for the primary had already passed, and the call went to many registered voters, people who were expecting to vote in the presidential primary next Tuesday. The call and follow-up mailings made many wonder whether they were registered for the primary or not. This sounds like a classic example of voter suppression, sowing confusion and driving down turnout. And these calls seem to be aimed at African-American communities, places where Barack Obama is expected to win easily. The group behind the calls is Women's Voices Women Vote. It's a 501c3 charity, and the robocalls seem completely at odds with the group's usual upbeat message. Take this public service announcement. Julia Louis-Dreyfus strolls through a replica of the Oval Office, fantasizing about women electing a woman president.
Come on! Who do you want in here? You decide. To register, go to www.org.
Women's Voices Women Vote did not make anyone available for comment on this story yesterday or today. Will Evans of the Center for Investigative Reporting, who collaborated in reporting this piece, found some Obama backers among the Women's Voices leadership, but the group mostly has ties to Hillary Clinton and her campaign. Founder Paige Gardner worked in Bill Clinton's 1992 campaign. Board member John Preston was President Clinton's chief of staff. Maggie Williams, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, used to be on the Women's Voices leadership team and did consulting work for them.
That's all established. We can't show that there's any formal or direct connection.
This is Chris Crom, director of the Institute for Southern Studies in Durham, North Carolina. The Institute got complaints about the robocalls. Investigating those complaints led them to Women's Voices. The Institute turned up other complaints about the group too, in Florida, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, and 4 other states. The Virginia State Police investigated robocalls just before that state's primary. Again, Chris Crom.
What we have here is at least 5 months of a deceptive tactic, illegal in many states, and each time this group is criticized for this activity, they apologize for the confusion.
Meanwhile, the North Carolina Attorney General says the robocalls are illegal. State law requires that automated phone calls identify the sponsoring group and give the recipient a way to reach them. The Lamont Williams call did neither. Democracy North Carolina, a fair elections group, is working with Women's Voices to pull the 276,000 mailers out of the postal stream. Just a week ago, Paige Gardner wrote to the North Carolina Elections Board, letting them know about the calls and the mailing. She noted that Women's Voices would be raising the voter registration question just before the primary. She called it an unfortunate coincidence and said she hoped it wouldn't be confusing. Peter Overby, NPR News, Washington.
If you've received strange robocalls or been contacted by so-called push polls, we'd like to hear about it. You can tell us about your experience at our website, npr.org/elections. Indiana also votes on Tuesday, and the presidential matchup is not the only contest on the ballot. My co-host Michelle Norris is spending this week in Indiana, and today she sat down with Republican Governor Mitch